Hello, welcome to this review of the Mythic Battles Pantheon revised pack. This isn't a hugely important kind of asset to the game or anything like that, but I'm assuming it's going to be on sale on the Monolith website pretty soon. And I thought it'd be worth dipping into it and letting you know what's in it, why it's important, and why it might not be important to you. So basically, within this pack you get revised scenario booklets, some new dashboards, some new recruitment cards, some activation cards, 4 troop cards and 6 polemark cards. Now basically, if we go through the dashboards and the cards first, so with Mythic Battles Pantheon 1.5, which came out I think 2019 was when that was at Kickstarter, the reprints that were involved there did not include the Corinthia expansion and the Paolo Parente's guest expansion for Aphrodite. This provides updated cards for those expansions. So Kitos, which came in the Corinthia expansion, the Herald of Typhon, which was in Corinthia as well, and Aphrodite from Paolo Parente's box. So these are updated versions of those cards. I'm not entirely sure why Eurytion appears in here as well, but obviously this is an updated card for him as well. In terms of the cards, we get the 6 polemark cards, which are for Mythic Battle Pantheon. So polemarks have been added into the current edition of the game. They came with Jarls, which are out in Mythic Battles Ragnarok, and if you've got the core box for that, in that box was these polemark cards as well. So if you've already got Mythic Battles Ragnarok, you will already own these cards. Polemarks are units that you can attach to your troops in order to get them certain perks and that kind of thing. And so in Mythic Battles Pantheon, we have Daedalus, Otrera, Adrian, Patroclus, Cassandra, and Helen of Troy. Also in this pack, we get a revised Infernal Warriors troop card. We get revised draft cards for Aphrodite, Ketos, Typhon's Herald, Caucasian Eagle, Prometheus, Aegisthus, Atalanta, Bellerophon, Aphrodite, and so both types of Aphrodite, Phoenix, Tityos, Ladon, Theseus, Charybdis, Polyphemus, and Typhon. We also get troop cards. Now these appeared in the Corinthia expansion as well, but troop cards for the villagers, 3 types, male, female, and child, and also activation cards for them as well. I don't believe we had activation cards for them previously. You get 6 of each. So yeah, interesting that they're there. I'm not entirely sure why. Certainly stats wise, they are completely useless. Movement of 1. They have a defense of 2. They don't attack and they've got no range. So I'm not entirely sure why. I'll have to dip back into the Corinthia expansion to look at the scenario and that kind of thing, see how we can use these cards. The only other thing is we get 3 activation cards for the Amazons, which are sadly, I believe, in French. So I'm not sure why they appear in this pack, but they do anyway. Now, in terms of the actual scenario books themselves, so why do these exist? Why have we got updated versions for the 1.5 that we can buy separately? I can tell you 100% you don't need these, but they're interesting to have in terms of completing your collection and that kind of thing. So if you think back to the Mythic Battles Pantheon 1.0, the original Kickstarter, when that was supplied and we all got it and that sort of stuff, fantastic game, blah 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 blah, the rule book wasn't great. There was issues with it. It wasn't that streamlined. I didn't like it. when the 1.5 edition of Mythic Battles Pantheon came out, everything was explained better in the rule book. It was much better refined, and basically it was a huge improvement on an existing game. It's a very simple thing to do, provide a new rule book to bring things up to date and kind of explain things better. That is more or less what these are. So these are better explained, more fleshed out versions of what you would have received in the original Mythic Battles campaign. So it's not a rewrite completely or anything like that. It just explains a few things better. It adds in some better use of tokens and that kind of thing for some of the scenarios and that kind of stuff. So like I say, it's not an absolute necessity, but if you are running scenarios, if you're running tournaments and that kind of thing that I do, I think it's important to have these so you are working from the freshest information that's available. I know there aren't many changes, but I'm certainly glad to have the most up-to-date version of these books. I doubt they will get revised further in the future. I think they will stay as they are. But like I say, if you're a completionist and you want the most up-to-date stuff, it's definitely worth it. For me, this is probably the more important stuff really is what's here for me. The updated dashboards and any revisions in cards and that kind of thing. That's most important for me. Like I say, because I do operate quite a few tournaments for the game and that kind of stuff, and it's important for me to be able to run them and for the newest available options and that kind of stuff. But I hope you enjoyed that little review. Like I say, it should be available on the Monolith shop in the sort of fairly near future. Not an absolutely necessary purchase by any means, but yeah, if you're a completionist, it's good to get it. I think it will be at a decent price as well. I didn't back it when I went in for Ragnarok. Picked this up separately on eBay for 20 quid. I doubt you'll pay more than that when it becomes available on the Monolith shop. But yeah, nice to have the more fleshed out and kind of better put together versions of these books. But I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, guys. So I know that many of you have been waiting for my review of Mythic Battles Ragnarok, which is taking some time. I actually recorded it last week, but I wasn't happy at all with the sound on the on my review. So I have actually ordered a new microphone, which should be delivered tomorrow. So I'll start re-recording that so I can get that out ASAP. So you'll probably be able to hear from this recording that it's a bit hissy and that sort of stuff. I really didn't like it for the Mythic Battles Ragnarok review, and that's why I'm spending a little bit of extra time to get to that, because I've got a lot to say about Mythic Battles Ragnarok. And for me personally, I'm heavily invested in the Mythic Battles products, and yeah, I want to do it justice. And like I say, I've got a lot to say in that review, and I want to make sure that it's the best it can be. But thanks very much for watching. There's going to be lots more Mythic Battles stuff coming up very soon. So if you want to see that stuff, make sure you're subscribed. Click on that little bell so as you know when things go live, and I'll be back to you very soon. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later.